people in the audience are too stupid to understand it. No, I get it. But you people are the stupid ones. Did you see the clip yesterday?
The Wick one?
The Wick one was terrible.
Yeah.
Brutal. It's happening.
But the thing is, like, you just don't know. That's my
yeah. There's no way to know.
You serious?
Oh. What do you mean?
Why would you talk about that before that call? The call seems like it's inconvenient for you guys.
This was a stupid thing that we did on a fucking 5-hour live stream that I wish we didn't talk about it at all. We talked about it as more of like a,
just to be clear, you didn't premeditate that conversation. You just talked about this.
No, we spoke about Destiny, and I don't think we had all of the stuff that we had. I think I've gotten stuff since then on that stream. But I think we had a general understand. It's really been a fucking drip feed of information. I found out about the fact that it was non-consensual fairly early on. Actually engaged with the discussion. It looked like.
I mean, what are we supposed to say? We don't really know what went on.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of the main thing. Is like I don't really know what's going on. I found out about the fact that it was non-consensual fairly early on.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Okay. Can we stop this fucking sweeping, please? It's pretty fucking obvious what went on, isn't it? There wasn't fucking consent. It's obvious, bro. It's fucking obvious, dude.
And then, oh fuck, I hope that's not the case. And I go, well, we'll see. And then it became like, I've heard rumors that Kyla is like the enforcer who's trying to talk her down from taking a better deal. And I'm like, oh fuck, okay. And then I saw one set of messages. Chud hasn't. Oh fuck. Well, Chud hasn't given me the rest of the messages. I only have one text message.
It's fucking obvious.
Let's.
All right, Adam's the call.
Show logic. Let's talk about it. Show logic. Let's talk about it. What do you mean it's obvious?
Melina commented on it and said that she didn't consent.
Do I just trust Melina?
All right, hold on. So I went
okay, okay. I tell you what. If she's lying, why doesn't Destiny prove it then?
I don't know. That's why I said.
Why did he react like that? Why did he react?
Oh. What do you mean?
Why would you talk about that before that call? The call seems like it's inconvenient for you guys.
This was a stupid thing that we did on a fucking 5-hour live stream that I wish we didn't talk about it at all. We talked about it as more of like a.
Just to be clear, you didn't premeditate that conversation. You just talked about this.
No, we spoke about Destiny, and I don't think we had all of the stuff that we had. I think I've gotten stuff since then on that stream. But I think we had a general understand. It's really been a fucking drip feed of information.
The thing is, like, you just don't know. That's my.
Yeah, there's no way to know.
Okay, am I crazy? I thought it was. And this is my speculation. Before I make a comment on this, this is my speculation. I'm not saying this as a fact. But when all those DMs got leaked, I just kind of assumed in my mind that was obviously revenge porn. Like, is that an insane? Oh, I'm not saying, I'm not reporting that as like, oh, this was confirmed. But I'm just saying, like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, this clearly must have been, like.
Are you talking about in regards to?
Well, the guy that did the hack and released it, that's like explicitly revenge porn. I think there's another term for it if you send an image to someone.
Destiny's sending
no, but it's like it's called something else. It's called like the sharing of non-consensual sharing of intimate images, because it's not being done for the intent, but it's still bad to do it, right? I think
you mean for the intent of publishing it? Is that the delineation?
If the participants in those videos were knowledgeable that this was being shared at all, is the question.
Right.
Well, I doubt they were. But, I mean, I doubt they were. Like, let's use our fucking brains here, shall we? Come on now.
All of my
That's what I was thinking. I was like, it's obvious that he was. Hey, can I send your news to this other guy? By the way, like, I don't think that was happening.
You ever have an e-celeb that's so untouchable? Like, you have numerous receipts on this person, and you caught them autistically in every lie that they can ever produce. You have their character down to a T, especially the negative aspects, considering they hold so much power and are so influential, and you just want to see justice, something we don't really see much anymore. In a lot of ways, a lot of YouTube networks resemble politics now. Some more than others, of course. You wouldn't expect YouTube politics to really be ingrained into a game review community, for example. But then again, a game review community wouldn't really need a network or flock of people to help bolster them up in terms of credibility, as well as numbers. That's when you have lovely individuals like this.
What's the stuff Lauren keeps saying about you recording people in your apartment? So when Lauren says that over and over again, she's referring to one conversation that I recorded between me and somebody else that had to do with a lot of Melina stuff. Again, in my mind, if somebody's gonna fuck me over or do some really weird, shady, fucked up shit, maybe theoretically I might record a conversation, you know, just because I want this to, if for no other reason, to go back through my own personal records to see what people have said. Okay. The way that Lauren keeps saying this is that like is implying that I'm like recording me fucking people or recording me like sexual stuff or something like that. That's how she like implies it. I don't know if she's gonna say, oh, I didn't imply that. I mean, he was a nasty person, just like a mean bad person or whatever. But I'm like, okay. But yeah, that's when Lauren says it over and over again. That's what she's referring to.
Got sex tapes, okay. Surprise.
Well, in the back of my head, I was thinking, why would all these people consent to their fucking nudes being exchanged?
Well, the answer
why
is
would
they
that
wouldn't.
even happen? They would absolutely not. They absolutely wouldn't.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I haven't really been able to talk about this with anybody because I'm at like a fucking, it's a huge risk to even discuss it because this guy's got such a chokehold over his community. But I legitimately think if it ever comes out that he's paid a large sum of money to silence a woman after he leaked her fucking naked pictures to try to hook up with a random fucking e-woman.
Yeah.
Essentially, everything anybody has ever said about Destiny over the last, I want to say 5 years, perhaps, but maybe that's being generous. I don't know. You can go and check out kiwifarms. They have over 1,000 pages documenting how much of a tard he's been. But everything the farmers in there have been critical about, everything that was a red flag initially, everything that you know these people, despite how dumb they might be, on the surface, you know that they can tell this man's true character. Everything just got exposed, came to a head. Hell, there were even some points being made that once were trivial to the majority of the public, such as Destiny cheating.
This guy gives relationship advice! He's cheated on every girlfriend he's ever had!
This is the last time I'm going to call you. Still 13 minutes left in these leak calls, by the way. She just keeps going and going and going and going and going. I made that up. Yeah, I figured you made it up. But even like 10 is crazy. Maybe I'm just weird and don't really like sleeping around that much, but I can't imagine. Ugh. I could be wrong, but I feel like for me, I probably have to have an emotional connection with someone in a serious way to be attracted to them enough to get a erection for them. I feel like it takes time for me. Even if I find them attractive, like I'm probably not just gonna stick it in. My body count is 17 and I hardly sleep around. 17 seems like so many, bro. 17 is a lot.
3 days later.
I don't care if a guy cheats on a girl and I don't know them. I don't care if a girl cheats on a guy and I don't know them. It's not my fucking problem, okay? I have cheated before. I have dated people who have cheated before. It's not my fucking... Like, it's not chat's problem. It's not the world's problem. It doesn't fucking matter, okay? It's like a thing that happens in relationships.
This is actually nuts. Wait, Tom cheated? Wait, Tom cheated on someone? Yes. Welcome to being a fucking adult. 70% of every adult you meet will have cheated on someone at some point in their life, okay?
He's cheated on every girlfriend he's ever had! He probably didn't hit his head as a kid. He would have grown up to be one of those red pill content creators, bro. I'm sorry. He's like 2 steps away from being just as bad as them.
Why are you such a piece of shit?
Now, this was never a point that was used against Destiny, least of all by one of his top commentary sweepers, who we'll get into. In fact, the majority of this video is mostly focused on him and how he's been trying to wipe his tracks of all this, while seemingly trying to get away with being the good guy in this scenario. Additionally, he's not the only one. We have our good friend Turkey Tom Dark, who has previously made a big deal over Pyrocynical doing much less.
Again, it's wretched to me, man. That it's just every fucking time with these people. Turkey Tom, Bodies with Destiny, must have known at least some of the stuff. And a lot of those things in his videos, like, okay, I should have pressed Tom harder at one point. I watched back my conversation with Tom the other day, last night. I should have pressed Tom harder at one point. I brought up the 15-year-old thing. Like, obviously, I don't think Destiny's a pedophile. But I brought up the 15-year-old thing, where Destiny said he was talking to that 15-year-old. It was so hard to say no. And she had fat tits and all that stuff. And obviously, I said to Tom, I said, this would be a video you made about anyone else. If you made a video about anyone else and they had spoken like that, that would have been in your video about them. But that's not the only point. If anyone else had done that, not only would it be in Turkey Tom's video, but he would have called them a pedophile. So...
than his daddy Destiny. In fact, for that matter, Nicholas Deorio has made a bigger deal out of former disgraced Smash player Zero for doing less than his father Destiny. I'm sorry, former eDaddy, because Deorio has properly buried him to the ground at this point, now that it's safe. But don't take my word for it, take his word for it.
I haven't really been able to talk about this with anybody because I'm at like a fucking, it's a huge risk to even discuss it. Because this guy's got such a chokehold over his community.
From the pig's mouth. Nicholas Deorio had the bright idea to get in a call with apparently resident psychopath President Sunday, as everybody's calling him now. And in this, Nick accidentally pulls a little bit of a blunder, you see, incriminating Chud Logic as well as his network for knowing about Destiny's ill deeds behind the scenes, yet staying quiet for the sake of self-preservation. Nicholas later went on to damage control after the call was leaked, and introduce a new narrative. A narrative that doesn't really meet his character if you've observed anything about the whale for the last 3 years. That he was empathetic to the victim, that he did not want to come forward for Pixie's sake, for Pixie's well-being. However, this is a little problematic considering the fact that Nicholas Deorio already had knowledge of Destiny's misdeeds has been confirmed by the President Sunday call. Not only that, but then Deorio himself, along with Turkey Tom, blatantly lied to the audience when this topic was slightly presented in a Chud Logic gaming stream. To Chud Logic's credit, he did push back and try to get these people to talk about it, because as Nick Deorio confirmed, Chud Logic had already knowledge of this and had shown Nick Deorio. So again, Nick Deorio having all the knowledge of Destiny's wrongdoings, and in fact having a fresh look at it, was not enough to stop him from trying to introduce hypotheticals to further muddy the waters for any potential victims that might come forward against Destiny.
Some fucking random girl. And I didn't even say we. I'm not a Destiny orbiter. I've never been. That's a thing that's been fucking pushed for the last time. I think the only interaction that I had with Destiny, that's like saying Willie is a Destiny orbiter, which would even be closer than me. I got invited on anything else in November, and I ignored the fucking DM.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most fucked up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it. But I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you had no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting an interest in like owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything. Holy fuck.
Decides to take his pants off and wiggle his 8-year-old on the stream.
Now listen. For no apparent reason, are we really meant to believe this? That for just no reason at all, you guys were going in there to troll an 8-year-old. You're trolling an 8-year-old, and then for no reason whatsoever, he started helicoptering his surfer style. Really?
What the f***?
Now, this is pretty much known by everybody at this point. It's really difficult nowadays to go ahead and get any tweet to incriminate Deorio because he spends so much time on the internet. He scrubs his stuff quite frequently. Wouldn't be the first time he did. There was an instance where Lyric's lolicon allegations had come out, and there was contention about whether or not Nick Deorio knew, which he did because he was one of the people to actually call him out. Like I said, Deorio loves to character assassinate whenever it's convenient.
Let's fucking go. Yo, someone just won bingo. Come up to the front desk.
All right,
you want a lollipop?
all right.
But no, in all seriousness, okay.
You would be the one to offer a lollipop, Lyrix.
That's right. Let's see what Lolicon Lyrics had to say about all this, shall we? Eh?
Whoa.
Lolicon Lyrics has got a take, has he? Dude, I don't know why. Oh dear. Maybe Moreau and Lolicon Lyrics are exchanging notes on something. I don't know. I can't. Come on, dude. Oh, what is wrong with me today, hey? Right, I feel I'm in a weird mood. I'm in a weird, jaunty mood. The Cunny Crusader is going to bring down the hammer on Moreau. The Cunny Crusader is going to tell him, listen, there's enough pedos around here as it is. Back off. Okay. I actually like lyrics.
This was before Lyrics came back and was in the good graces of him, aka being a good little lapdog. If you really think about it, if Nick goes ahead and he deletes the tweet in which he calls out what Lyrics saw to be lolicon, he can then have plausible deniability and lie to his two British friends' faces and say he was told it wasn't lolly.
Sorry, right. Deorio. Wait a second, didn't you have something to say to Deorio too?
Oh, yeah, Deorio, why did you give Lyrics a pass? What's the deal there? Oh, yeah, Deorio, why did you give Lyrics a pass? What's the deal there?
What did Lyrics look at?
This man is the most...
He looked at like vaguely sexualized images of kind of iffy looking aged girls.
Wait, more people want to come in. More people want to come in. Okay, we're bringing more people in.
Oh, we're creating a pedo ad hoc panel. I don't know. If Lyrics looked at Lolly, he's a freak. Like, cool. Condemn him. I don't really care. That's my thing. Is if he looked at, I don't know. Everyone told me that it wasn't like legit Lolly.
Really, just part of the plot, like how Sagiri needs to see these underage girls' panties to take her drawing.
Listen,
that's my thing. Is if he looked at, I don't know. Everyone told me that it wasn't like legit.
What's wrong with lollies? I think the art style is cute, and in general, what is wrong with liking kids being kids? What the fuck does that mean, dude? Come on. As long as you're not sexually attracted to actual human kids. No, I don't want these people defending me. No. No, don't say this in defense of me, please. Please. No, I feel like Flamenco is defending me right now. What's wrong with lollies actually? Fuck off. I don't want you people on my side.
See, this is what I feel requires a Lyrics video called the Lolly Double Standard, which would be tied into Deorio because, again, Deorio's the one, along with many others, that really just live to attach the pedo word to you just blatantly. Just so, ever so easily. It's a little bit of a bad habit. But when you do it to one of their e-daddies, then it's evil and reprimandable. Even Lyrics in this, I don't understand. You reviewed this knowing what it was, and if you're really treating it as if it's some horrendous, horrible thing, why are you acting like a tough guy on the internet when you clearly aren't? You always punch down. You're taking after Deorio now. You guys live to punch down, but whenever anybody asks you a hard questions, you fucking dip. It's another issue people, along with yours truly, have with you. You're major fucking pussies. You're not allowed to bully anyone realistically. And in a world where people are just tired of deception, in an era where people are tired of deception, I'm here to give you the realism, bro. You guys are giant pussies, consistently contradicting each other and then going after low-hanging fruit because it's the only thing you can get. It's the only thing you can handle. Lyrics, you cry anytime anybody ever asks you a question like, if you're so anti-lolly, why the hell did you do this at 20 years old when you knew what your commentary friends network considered lolly to be? That's just like you saying, I needed to review CP, homie. Like, Flamenco never did this type of stupid shit, and you're trying to punch down on him in the clip I just showed. Tipster never even did this shit, although he's a lost cause, but even still, I'm gonna call out a fact. And Deorio, you're scared to death of technicals of all people? I know it's probably because you can't go at him with the optics route, because compared to him, you are the bad guy. Optically, you look like the bad guy. You can't even punch down because then you'd be proving his point. Punching down would be going after his brother again, which you originally did, but decided to put it on this fucking fuckwit for some reason. Connor, the downloadable character, part of the DLC pack because he was never a main character to begin with. And now all of a sudden Bobby's gone. It's time to make him the new DLC of the day. Or month, whatever. The point is, you guys have done really slimy shit. You guys are really scared. and not good.
I've noticed a very obvious double standard. There's a case that perfectly illustrates what I mean when I say there's currently a double standard in the commentary community. Not to be confused with Turkey Tom on Twitter, that's just his handle. Zaptai, who is now currently known as Bigby, was a popular commentary channel in 2017. He was involved in a flirtatious relationship with a 16-year-old catfish who was actually 14 when he was 20 years old. Now I can already hear the people screaming, "Dude, he was 19 and she said she was 17. This is literally Call Me Carson." Well, if you do a 5-second Google search and calculate the ages according to the time frame of the allegations, you'd realize almost instantly that Zaptai was 20 the entire time. Also, 5 years ago, 4 months after the original Twitlonger was posted, Zaptai said, "Was talking to a 16-year-old a fucked up thing to do? Yes, won't challenge that." Why would he say that talking to a 16-year-old is fucked up if he had only spoken to her sexually when he believed she was 17 and then broke it off when he found out she was 16?
Let's make this clear. He thinks she's 16 at the time, not 13.
She had allegedly catfished the at the time 19-year-old Zaptai, saying that she was 17 or 16 years of age.
I'm going to take his word though, and since he's not going to challenge it, the official age gap for this accusation is 4 years. I just want to make it very clear before I go further into this, I don't believe that Zaptai is a pedophile, neither do I believe Zero is a pedophile. Okay, I'm just using this case to show you guys how there's a double standard with how coverage works on some of these more serious accusations, because it's not just about my Zero case. It also spills over into coverage on other people, so I think it's a pretty interesting thing to talk about. Now that we've established that, let's go over the redemption arc and the arguments made in Zaptai's defense. Before we go over the specifics, we need to know exactly who we're dealing with here. One of the major proponents of Zaptai's comeback is a creator known as...
Goddamn, guys. I can see why this guy was the boogeyman to you for so long. It's not necessarily that he's good, it's just that you guys kind of suck. Like, you guys get as defensive as Tiny does whenever the hell anybody brings this up.
Symposium Brain for $20 says Molina recently confirmed that the sex tapes leaked by Destiny's former girl were shared by Destiny without her consent.
Good one, nice.
If she has no legal recourse.
I got a whole bunch of super chats for you. Wick, ready?
Okay.
Okay, that's enough of that. Let's go back to the regularly scheduled program, where last we left off during a Destiny drama that came up last month that Deorio refused to go over, even though he loves getting things from people's past to character assassinate them. He decided to skip this one out and just call it a nothing burger, and so did his little lackeys. However, the people that are self-made, like the house, decided to troll and lol and all the other good stuff. But most importantly, they decided to call it out because they're not dependent on this guy. They're not little worms like Chris the Narc, Xylee Gets Real, or even Lyrix, who have needed Deorio to bolster their career to even be anything on the internet. So let's get back to that because it's rather fun.
He's happy. He's laughing. He's laughing. Like he's happy, reminiscing about this 8-year-old's.
Oh my god.
We're just broing out with the bros.
Bros. The kids.
Listen, bro fisting is different than fisting the bros. You can't, you know, like.
Rather than doing what I know he can do and what you should know he can do, because it is Nick Deorio, the biggest politician on YouTube, he always finds technicalities and slimeball ways to keep his hands clean and to come out looking like the good guy in the entire situation. Nick Deorio could have easily said, "You know what, Chud? I am going to distance from Destiny. I have come across some information that I will not disclose. However, I will from this moment forward be disavowing and pulling away from Destiny." However, that did not happen. Instead, as I said, he continued to play dumb with Turkey Tom and pretend they had no knowledge of anything when it was revealed that they did, especially Nick Deorio. It's kind of pathetic, but it also speaks to the intellect of Deorio's fanbase, which I've gone on record saying is a bunch of children and tipster brains. Well, Tipster, if you don't know about him, you can find a whole bunch of shit contradicting anything he's ever said when he opens his fucking mouth. Not only is he a lolcow, but he's probably one of the most uncredible people on the internet. So he should just probably keep his mouth shut permanently, in the President Trump era of all things especially. I'm telling you, some really bad eggs out there make mass deportations worth it, and Tipster is the prime example. The main point of all this is, and President Sunday kind of picked up on it as well, and so did Kiwi Farmers, some of them. Deorio could have easily disassociated with Destiny without putting Pixie's life in danger, as that is the shield that Deorio and his defenders want to go ahead and put out.
And in that conversation, I had the Kyla and Pixie talk at the ready, because I wanted to show him that, look, you have doubts. You have doubts about what's going on with this, according to you. Let me show you proof. Let me show you proof that there is a thing being settled. But we didn't get to that point, because he already had it. I went to go talk to Beckett, and Beckett already had it. I went to talk to Chud, and ChudLogic already had it. I called my editor. Hey, we're going to do a project. You wanna talk about... He already had it. This had gone everywhere. Everyone had it. I learned from Nick Deorio that at the time of that call with ChudLogic, in which they were sweeping for Destiny and blaming Melina, or casting aspersions on Melina's trustworthiness, or calling people or telling people that they're being paranoid like Mr. Girl when they talk about how Destiny's audience pressures people into being silent about stuff like this. And they all knew about this. Tom had it. Augie had it. They all had it then. They all knew for a certainty. The argument is that you increase the awareness of the existence of those indecent images with that vid. That doesn't make any sense. Those images reached far more than 80,000 people. That's silly.
He was thinking of Pixie and their well-being, and President Sunday did not, because he's a psychopath and the bad guy in this scenario. You're all bad guys in this scenario is the only problem. And objectively speaking, there's no real good party unless you want to count in the hundreds of Kiwis or whatever have you on the farms that were just constantly posting receipts of Destiny that I know all of you commentary guys are looking at, because some of you just straight up rip talking points and make little documentary videos out of Kiwi Farmers' talking points, without ever crediting them, I might add. While others of you that were previously in the network like Mudahar would just go ahead and take all the talking points and work of Kiwi Farms for Keffels now that it was safe to disassociate and not have a business relationship with her. Funny enough, Muda was also in the Deorio network, so we're starting to see a little pattern here.
Not a lot of them. Very few people are that dumb or that locked in. We'll talk about that too. But they're picking Destiny's side. And a bunch of people who were colluding with Destiny and were covering up for him actively are now attacking Destiny foot soldiers, DGG foot soldiers, quote unquote, as if they themselves were not leading the defense.
But guys, DGG, get real close. Listen to me. During the fucking Red Pill arc, while your fucking Messiah was out there telling Andrew Tate and all these huge pieces of shit how to treat women better, he was distributing his fucking friends' nudes to random whores he met online. He's a fraud.
We're going to talk about some of those people. But the long story short is that whenever people say, how dare you talk about this, you're outing the victims against their wishes. They were outed against their wishes the moment Solo Tiny Leaks leaked those images and videos. They were outed the moment that was talked about on Twitter. They were outed the moment it became a necessary thing to silence multiple people because everybody knew, random people knew. And let me tell you something. Even the information that I had concerning the conversation between Kyla and Pixie was everywhere. When I had my call with Nick Deorio, when he called me, because this is what happened. I made my video criticizing Nick Deorio, Tom, Turkey Tom, not ChudLogic. I'm actually going to talk about ChudLogic too. I think he actually weirdly did the right thing in this case. We'll talk about that. And Nick Deorio, ChudLogic, Turkey Tom, and Augie. I guess that was all of them, yeah. I did my video covering them having a conversation and sweeping pretty aggressively for Destiny. Someone sent that to Nick, apparently. So he gave me a DM. And the DM went like, hey, someone sent me this video. Probably have some harsh words for me in there. Just want to talk and clear up my side of this. You know, it's a minefield and whatnot. It's like, okay, sure. I was starting to get really sick at that point, so the call was deferred by a couple days. I think. So 1 or 2 days, I can't remember. So we had the call. And I've seen this guy sweeping for Destiny in that call, in the video that he's calling me about. So I pop on record. One party consent state, baby. Yeah. All right. He did it too, as it turns out. But we have a conversation, okay?
Most of these things were from the farms, at least this general consensus. So the main issue with Deorio is that he knew the pictures were sent non-consensually, which he confirmed in the call with President Sunday. Despite this, he muddied the waters in favor of Destiny by introducing false narratives and claiming the situation was unclear. Now, it's weird for Nick to do this because he knew the situation was pretty clear and cut. As President Sunday pointed out, and as many people that aren't sucking their thumbs have pointed out, Nick could have just disavowed or just distanced himself right there and then. Maybe make a statement like, there's something pertaining to Destiny that I can't talk about, I'm not at liberty to talk about. However, you're correct, Chud, and I'm just going to distance from Destiny moving forward. But, of course, financial dependency or internet clout, whatever being the case when it comes to this guy, it just kind of makes him not do that for some reason.
There is a large community of streamers and content creators who have benefited tremendously from being publicly friendly with Destiny. If Destiny is guilty of a heinous crime that destroys his reputation, their ability to benefit from that is extremely threatened. So what do you do? Oh, by the way, it's a bit more complicated than that as well, because it's not just that their ability to benefit from that relationship is extremely threatened. Depending on the order in which people come forward and who they attack potentially in the process, right? Or who they attack as knowing enough to come forward but they didn't in the process, they can also jeopardize their relationships with other communities once he is exposed. We're going to come back to this later as well. So one of the ways in which people have avoided this is by using this notion that by not talking about it, they are protecting the identities of victims who were already outed from day one. So therefore, they're actually doing the noble thing by not talking about the leaks, by not talking about what Destiny did, by not talking about what the person they're benefiting from did. Why? Because they're hedging their bets. They don't know what happens. They don't know if Destiny wins or loses. And so they don't want to put themselves into a position where they pick wrong. And so in order to save their skin and their AdSense accounts, in order to save their paycheck, they threw all the victims under the bus and colluded, either passively or aggressively, to keep that issue silent. We're going to talk about some people who did that. And different people have taken different stances afterwards. There's still for some people think the fog of war is still clearing, and they're picking Destiny's side. They're picking Destiny's side. Not a lot of them. Very few people are that dumb or that.
Which is strange, seeing as how he loves to character assassinate his own former friends so much. He's still doing it to this day. Consistently punching down has made numerous videos to hijack the algorithm for Boblax's channel. By the way, I know some of you aren't YouTubers, so you don't know how algorithm works. I'll give you a little stupid summary of it, a simple one. The more you post about something or upload a specific video about a topic, and the more traction it gets, while the content creator in question is not gaining as many views, or is just not uploading in most cases, the algorithm hijacks it to where anytime you type up their name, your video pops up. This has been the MO from the very beginning. Yes, it goes a little darker than just we're gonna meme on Boblax. It is consistently putting out videos, so the algorithm will no longer go to him. That you type it up and, well, you get Nick Deorio videos when you type Boblax. The same thing happened to Tipster at one point, if you remember. Nick Deorio even went ahead and alluded to this. If he hasn't deleted that tweet, I'll put it up on the screen right now. But basically, there were so many people making pieces on Tipster and finally pointing out the obvious about Tipster again, because it was his time to go. And eventually, all you ever found when you typed up Tipster was a bunch of exposed videos on him, because the algorithm had been hijacked and Tipster wasn't really making many views, or he had deleted most of his videos. Either or, that's a brief summarization of how the algorithm works on YouTube. Knowing Deorio, I know he knows about this, and he probably is doing this just for being a petty, vindictive fuck. But don't take my word for it. Take this little conversation between Augie and Deorio. Psychopathically petty, as he puts it, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I know well about that.
Nicholas Deorio even said he never knew Destiny. He was never a part of Destiny's community. He was like Peter. He was like Peter denying Jesus 3 times in the fucking garden or some shit, bro. It was Nicholas Deorio. I never knew him. No, I don't know that man. I was never a part of his community. Aren't you one of his disciples? No! No! As a matter of fact, it's probably you who supported him. Okay.
So initially I was going to be a real professional and make this all like 40, 50 minutes, an hour, or whatever. You know, like one of those really cool commentary guys that just edit everything professionally and by the books. But then I realized I have a life, I have a lot of things, in fact, I'm going to be doing this week. But I'm going to still try to fit in the stream just to shit talk and whatnot, and just for fun. Additionally, I don't even know if I'm going to be around at all next week, so, you know, kind of hard, kind of difficult. Like, there was supposed to be this Tom segment that was going to be about 30 or 20 minutes as well, and it was going to detail how Tom was on the same level as Deorio when it came to sweeping. It's just, he's just stupider, so his flaws are more easily on display. And I don't think low T Tom should get away with anything. I think he should still get the swift hand of justice. So I guess I'll still commit to that video. It's just whenever I want. I think the important one, though, the most important, was to expose the slimy politician, the Kamala of commentary, if you will, harboring all of these deceptive, deceitful aliens in our lovely YouTube country, Senmerica. Under my presidency, the only person we will be pardoning is Augie RFC, not his butt buddy Connor. That guy, well, let's see what we can work out with him, but definitely not him. He's very annoying and he dates fat chicks. But what I'm calling for is mass commentary deportations. This would be the first. And moving forward, we'll see what else comes up. I'm glad I was able to focus on the big slime ball here, but since I don't have the power of the almighty network, or a bunch of tipster brain adults, quote-unquote adults, and children to push this video out to the algorithm, and just generally everybody in that sphere is just fucking stupid, I'll trust the Seni squad and anybody coming in here with an open mind, really, to share and like the video. I'm sure Moby Nick will be fine career-wise, because again, he's chosen his audience very specifically to be people that are fucking stupid. Again, tipster brains, as I like to call them, illegal aliens. Another way to put it. And children, because Deorio loves harboring children for some reason as an audience, because it's very based of him to do it. Hey Deorio, you can't be mad at that implication, because you make far worse for far less. Like, holy shit, man. Take a break, champ. It's okay. Don't let your blood pressure go up too much. But anybody that's tired of seeing this fucking slimy, weaselly fuck get away with most of the shit he does, go ahead and like and share the video. I won't get my hopes up for some revolutionary change or anything, because very much everything is stacked against me. I've seen even some shameful people out there that are farmers go ahead and bow down to the Oreo, and like Chris the Narc for some reason, which that's even more hilarious. But again, to the people that are not looking for a little bit of internet attention, internet clout, and just want the truth out there, and possibly some change, like our president did, yeah, you can go ahead and push this video out. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, I got things to plan for. Appreciate you guys if you made it to the end of the video. I'll see you all in the next one. This stream, Friday, I'm gonna do a little bit of catching up with the interwebs, a little bit of shit talk, which is what we usually do. But I have to break my rule of no editing, at least for this video. Expect the Turkey Tom one to come out eventually. It's just I was running very low on time and some things came up, and I'm not gonna be free. That's the sad reality when you're not a Nick Deorio stuck on the fucking internet all the time. Social interaction, Nick, you should really get it. Maybe it'll make you less of a scummy fucking person. And I don't mean the cool kind of scummy, I mean like the borderline disgusting, annoying. I can't fight anyone above me. I need to punch down all the time. I can't even fight technicals because he beat me up so bad. Fucking embarrassing. Anyway, peace out guys, and have a good rest of your day, and remember, don't be a Deorio.